I would invite you to share what you went through recently that allowed for you to take a look at who you are and what you're doing and have that realization of, I need to be more than what I am today, and then start this new upward trajectory. Because a lot of people just got their asses kicked in 2023.
Yeah.
And now they're like, okay, 2024, how do I make this my year?
So it's a weird thing when you start becoming more successful, and whatever that means to you. For me, I have been dominating the money game for a long time. I don't remember a year that I made less than $10 million. It's been a long time. And that's from a kid that grew up with very little. I've been making great money for a long time. And a lot of times it's tax-free money because I own all this great commercial real estate and I'm able to cost seg these buildings and accelerate the depreciation, and I have great cash flow coming in and appreciate, like, I'm like really winning the real estate game. And so last year, here I am online. If you saw me, you're like, that guy's murdering it. And if we're talking about money, you're right. I had the best year financially last year. What they don't see or didn't understand was just how much pain I was actually in. I have been struggling emotionally for a long time. Not in a whiner way. Oh, life's hard, victim mindset type shit.
Sure.
I was just very unhappy. I was in a marriage I didn't want to be in anymore. I was out of alignment with my words, my thoughts, and my actions. My mother was dying of cancer, and my businesses were struggling because I was totally emotionally checked out, meaning not like we're still making a lot of money, but the culture was breaking. The teams weren't really understanding what was going on. I was just disconnected and out of it. I was a horrible CEO. I was a horrible friend. I had no spiritual connection whatsoever. If you would have started talking to me about religion a little over a year ago, because it's been about a year and a half now, a little over a year ago, I would have pushed back and said, look, if you want to believe in make-believe shit, go do it. That's on you. Like, I was not a religious person. And so I was like a zombie walking around. But I was hiding all of this pain in achievement because that's always what I did. I was so out of control as a kid, and I was bullied so much as a kid that entrepreneurship as a sport was the thing that I can control. I could lean in on that and build businesses and scale businesses, and I was good at that, like the art of that, and that made me feel safe and significant. So I would buy the Lambos and I'd buy the houses and I'd borrow significance from the wealth that I was creating and the things that I was buying and the luxury items. But I was still that 13-year-old kid that was bullied and picked on deep inside. And my marriage of 18 years was a complete disaster. I'm now separated, living in my Airbnbs. Nobody knows. I'm alone. I had to tell my kids that was a disaster. At the exact same time that's going on, my mother took a really bad turn with her cancer, went downhill, ended up dying in my arms. My dad was losing his mind in the corner. I'm giving my mom the morphine and the lorazepam or whatever it's called, trying to just make her feel okay while she was passing. And you find yourself in this place where you're in rock bottom's basement. And I was looking around going, how in the did I get here? How did I make so many poor decisions to obliterate my marriage, to be so disconnected from everybody, feel so horrible, and feel very little hope for the future? And a lot of times when you get to that place where you're just beat up from every direction, that's when I finally surrendered. That's when I was like, you know what? I can't just be known as a guy who makes money. I need to be more whole. I need to figure out how to heal myself. And I checked myself into this place in Scottsdale called Psychological Counseling Services. I went to a week-long intensive. I wish I would have done it a decade or two earlier. It was such a game changer for me because I stopped all business activities. I didn't go online for 7 days. I didn't touch an email for 7 days. I didn't talk to anybody for 7 days. I dipped out I told all my team members, guys, I have to do this for myself. Like I'm having a breakdown. They all supported me. I went and did this really aggressive 14-hour-a-day intensive. We did every type of therapy under the sun, one-on-one, group therapy, horse therapy, acting therapy, EMDR, breath work, somatic release breath work. We did everything. We built trauma eggs. We did intimacy circles. We did all these crazy things. And as I was going through all of this stuff, I realized just how much pain and trauma I had been carrying around my whole entire life. And what we don't realize as people is you have a subconscious programming. Your subconscious programming determines how you react to everything. You want to be a deadly entrepreneur, you need to learn how to control yourself. You want to be a really good friend, you need to learn how to control your reactions. I was losing my mind. You ever ask yourself, like, why did that piss me off so bad when that person cut me off in traffic?
Yep.
It's morning time. Everything's fine. I'm driving to work. I'm not even in a hurry. But here I am cussing somebody out when they cut you off, losing it. And then the next 3 hours of my day are a mess because I'm just like hot. Why does that happen? It happens because you're out of control subconsciously. And what I realized is that I failed in my marriage. I was out of alignment with my words. I was failing as a business partner. I was failing spiritually because you cannot give what you do not have. I couldn't go around and be a great business partner and be a great significant other to my wife. I couldn't be a great dad to my kids. I thought I was doing okay because I provided them shit. That's one of 3 things that you have to do for your family. I was really good at one and failed miserably at the other 2. And that's because I wasn't giving them unconditional love. I wasn't showing up and being a present man, being a great protector, providing safety. I was just being a provider of shit. That's it. But I wasn't present. I was emotionally checked out over here running these businesses, and that's where I hid. And I wasn't a great protector because I provide no safety. And so you can't give what you don't have. I couldn't give unconditional love because I didn't have unconditional love for myself. And that was the big light bulb moment where I was like, wow, you've been chasing significance your whole life. You've been fighting to build this big brand and look awesome online and to make all this money, when in reality, you're just a hurt kid. And
you can't out-earn it.
And if you would have asked me before I went to therapy, was your childhood okay? I would have said, yeah, I was never molested. I was never abandoned. My parents were great parents. Everything was okay. But we all have our shit. And once I started unpacking it, I started realizing, wow, no wonder I don't like religion. When I was 10 years old, my grandparents, who were recovering alcoholics that turned into very aggressive, what's the religion where they handle snakes and stuff?
Oh, Lord.
Pentecostal.
Yeah.
They were heavy Pentecostal Christians, right? And my grandpa pinned me in a corner one day and spoke in tongues for 15 minutes and lost his mind on me and shook me and told me I was going to be a great pastor someday. And you wonder why I rebel against religion. I was scared of it. My mom was bisexual. She cheated on my dad with another woman. I walked in on it. I forgot that I even witnessed this because I was a little kid. But as you start going through these therapies and start unpacking things, you're like, my dad cheated on my mom cheated on my dad, all this shit's going down, and I forgot all about it. Because you know what we do as entrepreneurs? We're professional at hitting a wall or having something really heavy happen to you, and then we compartmentalize it, and we bury it, and we move on. And we compartmentalize it and bury it and move on. And we get really good at doing this. That's how we're able to take on all this pain and pressure and hardships and keep moving forward. Because if we held on to if we held on to all of it, it'd be like an anchor dragging us backwards. And this is why some people aren't cut out for entrepreneurship, because they can't handle that. They don't know what to do with it. But psychopaths like us take it and we bury it and we move on. And I was doing that my whole life and didn't even realize it. And I finally stopped long enough to address it. And then over the next year, I made myself a commitment. When I came out of therapy, I said, you know what? I'm going to be a great provider. I'm going to be extremely present. I'm going to be a great protector. I'm going to be the world's greatest partner. I'm going to be the world's greatest significant other. I'll never fail in a relationship again. I'll never cheat again, because it's so easy to have a marriage where you're an entrepreneur and you're out there dominating and kicking ass, but you're so disconnected from your family. And it doesn't happen immediately. It's 1 degree. It's 2 units going 1 degree in different directions slowly over a long period of time. And you just wake up and you're like, oh, my family's on the other side of a canyon now.
Shit, like what happened?
And you're so disconnected from it and so turned off. Like with my wife, my ex-wife, we became just friends. She's a perfect 10, one of the greatest human beings to ever walk this planet. I absolutely adore her as a human being. And she showed me so much grace during the divorce. I can't even imagine. I don't even know how she turned out to be such an amazing human being. Like, kudos to her parents, because she is world class. And I'm a piece of shit over here, like trying to leave my family, out of alignment, doing all this dumb stuff, and then trying to heal myself and get back on track, realizing you're way over here and I'm way over here. I didn't want to get back. I didn't want to stay in the marriage. I wanted out. But how do you do it? How do you get out of, how do you rebuild from that moment? You go upstream and you heal yourself. And you show back up as the man that everybody deserves, that you should have been the entire time. And it wasn't my words. It had to be done through my actions. For the last 2 years, I have done nothing but put in the work to be the man I need to be. When people ask me, like, what does it take to be successful? It's who do you need to become to be the person that deserves the success, that can handle the success? That's been my journey for the last 2 years. And it's been great because now I have a phenomenal relationship with God, my creator. I'm working on it every single day. I'm great friends with my ex-wife. We talk all the time. I am a super parent to my kids. Absolutely adore me now. My daughter's 13. She tells me secrets. We're super connected. I spend more time with my kids now. I'm more present with my kids now than I've ever been. It's like I've been blessed with the second chance. I'm making more money than I've ever made. Opportunities are coming from every direction. I'm in alignment with all of my words. My partnerships are strong. 2024 is going to be a phenomenal year. I feel like the weight of the world, all these lies, all this bullshit has been lifted off of me. I'm in alignment with my purpose. And that all happened, and the catalyst was my mom's death. It's like that rock bottom thing had to happen to force me to slow down long enough to realize that I'm my own worst enemy and I got to do something about it. And so if you're an entrepreneur playing the game at a high level right now, have you tried somatic release breath work?
Yeah.
Have you gone upstream and healed your shit? Because you want to know how to unlock the next level and you can't figure out how to do it. How to do it is stop and get present and go backwards a step. Fix your shit. And the next level will naturally just unfold right in front of you once that happens. Otherwise, you're always going to be this hamster on a wheel, chasing significance, hiding your pain and achievement, and always wondering why I can't get there.